Hey guys, welcome back to Hero Games. It's your boy Red, continuing our pre-release deck prep with the X antibody line. We previously touched on the Alphamon section. Now let's take a look at how Dorugoramon has evolved with his new purple support. BT9 has finally given us a shot at mixing the purple and black elements of the two decks. We will be doing this as a black base. I believe this is the way to go, although you could definitely look at some purple cards potentially. But let's take a look here. So we're of course still running 4 copies of the Dorugoramon because it's the best level 3 to have. Reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with X antibody and traits, and 1 Coda Tamer to your hand. It's inheritable. When one of your effects places a Digivolution card underneath this Digimon, gain 1 memory. We have dropped Ryudamon down to 3 copies, not needing him as much for his search power. We won't be running any Yujis in these, but he can still pick up a X antibody, and we have his decoy effect. But we are still limited on our total amount of X antibodies, so I will still be running him. The decoy might come up, it might not, we'll see. We are running 4 copies of the new Dorugoramon this time. On play, you may trash 1 card with X antibody and its trace from your hand to draw 2 cards. And then still, of course, running our 2 copies of Dorugoramon. Very easy to hit that 13k threshold to get the security attack +1. And if he's beside the Digimon with 13k DP, he gets piercing. Still running the 4 copies of Dorugoramon on opponent's turn. If this has X antibody underneath it or beside it, it will get blocker, and it gives all of our X antibodies on top of it plus 1000 DP on all turns. Dropping down the Ginryumon down to 3 copies of the card. Opponent's turn, while this Digimon has X antibody and its traits, it gains blocker. Pairing the Dorugoramon up with the new level 4 DexDorugamon. So where all the other colors have X antibody Digimon Digivolving on top of their regular counterparts, since we are always X antibody, we now have these Death evolution cards mirroring that type of playstyle. Digivolve 0 from Dorugamon. You can see he also can evolve on top of a purple Digimon. When Digivolving, you may trash 1 card with Dex or DeathX in its name or X antibody and its traits in your hand to gain 1 memory. If this Digimon has Dorugoramon in its Digivolution cards or is Digivolving from the trash, one of your Digimon gains blocker and retaliation. Running 4 copies of Dorugoramon, you may place 1 black card with X antibody and its traits from your hand at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards to prevent effects from deleting it or reducing its DB until the end of your opponent's next turn. And while this Digimon has X antibody and its traits, it gains security attack +1. Pairing this up with the new DexDoruGoraMon. Digivolve 1 from Dorugoramon or 4 from a purple or black level 4. Kind of costly, but we want to be Digivolving more from the Dorugoramon instead. When Digivolving, you may trash 1 card with Dex or DeathX in its name or X antibody and its traits from your hand to gain 1 memory, mitigating that 1 cost. When Digivolving, if this Digimon has Dorugoramon in its Digivolution cards or is Digivolving from the trash, delete 1 of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So while having to cost 1, because he is a bit of a beefy boy there, being able to trash a card and gain a memory does help mitigate that cost, as well as when Digivolving we get to pop something coming out. So we can pair this up with this deletion protection here. We are good to set up for next turn going into Dorugoramon. I'll be glad to play this card again. I love playing him in BT7. So evolve for 3 on black Digimon. Your turn for each card with X antibody and its traits in this Digimon's Digivolution cards. This Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. When attacking once per turn, you may place 1 card with X antibody and its traits from your hand at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards to delete up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon with play costs less than or equal to this Digimon's Digivolution cards. So if you missed the BT7 era when this card came out, predominantly you would, of course, go into Dorugoramon, preferably put a card underneath him, evolve into Dorugoramon, and attack, put another card underneath him. You were deleting things. Let's see, we had the level 2. I actually forgot to put level 2 here. We'll be running the Dorugoramon level 2, draw a card when putting a thing under it. So you had the level 2, the level 3. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards underneath the Dorugoramon. So on his first swing, he was deleting Digimon play cost 6 or less. And then when BT8 came around, we have the Yujimon. You could bump that up by tapping the Yujis to place even more cards underneath him. Now we can kind of make it even better thanks to the dual stacking of the DexDorugamon and the DexDoruGoraMon, we can now evolve, adding another 2 of those previously now deleting play costs 8 or less on our first Dorugamon swing, which is really nice. And of course, because he gets plus 1000 DP for each X antibody underneath him, and all of our Digimon except for the Tsunerizamon have X antibody, Dorugoramon is swinging for super high DPs, which will easily trigger the Tsunerizamon that we hope to have under him. To evolve on top of him, of course, we are wanting to run this DexDoruGoraMon. Running him at 3 copies right now. He is a hefty 5 cost to evolve. Otherwise, evolve on Dorugoramon for 2. When digivolving, if this Digimon has Dorugoramon in his Digivolution cards or is digivolving from the trash, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. You may play 1 purple or 1 black level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. If you have 5 or more Digimon cards with Dex or DeathX in their names in the trash, you may play 1 DeathXmon from your trash without paying its memory cost instead. Now, I will say it actually says cards on Digimon cards, so option cards could go into that as well, which is pretty neat. Now, with this card here, I believe the best way to go is to still go into Dorugoramon here, get the main off attack with the Dorugoramon, and then in turn, digivolving into DexDorugamon. Right, evolve for 2. If your opponent doesn't have memory corrector, maybe we can pass them over at 2. We already got the when attacking effects of the Dorugoramon, so we can make full use of the when digivolving effect to delete all opponent's Digimon with all the lowest with the lowest level, which can be pretty good. It can potentially be board wiping. This allows us to maximize both effects, and then this puts us on the opponent's turn on deletion. Right, so if they go to delete this Digimon, we'll play a Digimon, preferably our DeathXmon, which leads to our 1 copy of DeathXmon. And I'll say here, just like with the Alphamon in the previous video, I have 1 copy of DeathXmon because I run 1 copy of DeathXmon. Sorry, I own 1 copy of DeathXmon. If you have more, play more. If you don't have more, try to get more. This is a really good card. It is so good in this deck. And more importantly, it's good in a lot of other decks. I'll see a lot of play for the foreseeable future. DeathXmon, when you play this card, reduce its memory cost by 3 for each Digimon and Tamer your opponent has in play. On play and when digivolving, de-digivolve 1 all your opponent's Digimon, then delete all your opponent's Digimon. So delete all your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. In the end of opponent's turn, once per turn, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. So this is also another form of board wiping removal. Whatever we didn't delete off the DexDorugamon, if they dare try to remove this Digimon, then DeathXmon is coming out, and he'll get his on play effect to de-digivolve and delete everything 4 or less, meaning everything 5 or higher is subject to getting this end of turn effect. So if your opponent's not careful, they can really hurt themselves getting this card on the field, and then while it's on the field, it's going to be demolishing that over and over again, forcing your opponent to have to play around it. Really good card. We are running 2 copies of DeathX Digivolution because I like to play the new matching option cards when a set for it comes out. While you have a Digimon with X antibody in its traits in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirement. You may digivolve 1 of your Digimon into a Digimon card with Dex or DeathX in its name from your trash for its memory cost. So this way we can evolve into some of these purple Digimon from the trash. We can toss them with this Doraemon, get the search thing, and digivolve right back into them with this card. Pairing this up with Metal Impulse for 6. Trash up to 3 cards in your hand for each card trashed by this effect. De-digivolve 1 of your opponent's Digimon. Then delete 1 of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So if your play cost is 6, we can delete level 6 or level 7 pretty easily, which is not too bad of an effect as long as we can de-digivolve, which I'm hoping we can. This can be mitigated a little bit by X antibody decks, of course, which will be very popular in the set, so it remains to be seen how strong this card will be. But I kind of like it. It's dual color, so we will be required to have a purple and a black card on the field, which will be all of our Dex cards here. This level 4, 5, 6, and 7. For our Tamers, we are running the 3 copies of Coda. Coda, start of your turn, set your memory to 3. On play, reveal top 4 cards of your deck, add a X antibody and its traits among them to your hand. This will pick up the DexDoruGoraMon, because they are X antibody as well as undead. Will not pick up the DeathXmon because of his type is not X antibody but X program, unfortunately. Comparing this up with 3 copies of Cool Boy. He is a 2-drop white Tamer. On play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with X antibody in its traits, which is most of this, and 1 option card with X antibody in its traits among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom. You could definitely argue for playing X antibody in this. It's probably not a bad idea, but we're just trying it without it. It just didn't fit in there in the beta build. On your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves into a same level Digimon with X antibody in its traits, you may suspend this Tamer to gain 1 memory and draw 1 card. Now that we've kind of gone over all the memory things, the big thing about this is all the gain memory potential that this has from evolving. Just having this level 3 moving out, you can evolve into a Dorugoramon for 2, then you can digivolve for 0 from Dex, gain a memory off his effect, gain a memory off of Cool Boy effect, so mitigating back from what we had off that Dorugoramon. Then you can digivolve into Dorugoramon, put a Doramon underneath him, right? Spend 3, gain another 1, and if another Cool Boy is out, gain another 1. So this could be a 2 or 3 cost evolve. Evolve for 1 to Dorugoramon, and then gain that 1 back from his effect before finally going into a Dorugoramon. So all in all, from a level 3 to a level 2, we spent perhaps maybe 2 to 3 memory total, and we've gone from a level 3 all the way up to a double evolve level 5, ready to go up into a Dorugoramon. If our opponent's not careful and puts us at enough memory, that can just be enough to go straight from just a 3 to a 6 off of nothing, and then in turn evolving to DexDor for 2. That's going to be the name of the game. You can definitely play things like Black Memory Boost and UGs to really help more of that memory control. Definitely something to look into as I test this out for tournament builds. But that's where we're at right now. Thanks for watching my videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more Digimon content, and we'll be back with a play-tested version of this with some modifications. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.